The Dodgers made it interesting. Great pitching last night. That was fun. Fun to watch. And here is the final call of the Dodgers moving on to the NLCS.
Heart rate's through the roof. The 0-1 pitch. Pages grounds it back to Kerkering. He can't find it. He throws home. It's wide. Kim scores. And the Dodgers are going to the championship series. Fireworks go off in center field. The Dodgers celebrate near first base on a ground ball back to the pitcher. Andy Pages somehow gets the job done.
That's courtesy of AM 570, LA Sports Dodgers Radio Network. So you got bases loaded, the comeback to Kerkering, and he is looking to make a play at home, and he doesn't have to. He can go to first and get the out, but he pauses, and it's almost as if he took his eye off the ball and his glove and the batter, and he got lost. He got caught in no man's land. Kim scores. Kim actually missed home plate and then came back and touched home plate, but wild. And we were talking about the worst way to lose, and it's a walk-off error, and that's what happened. Here is Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, on what he said to his pitcher after the loss.
Rob, obviously a heartbreaking way to lose. Looked like you had a long conversation with Orion coming off the field. Do you want to share a little what you told him? Or
just to keep his head up. He just got caught up in the moment a little bit. Coming down the stretch there, he pitched so well for us, and I feel for him, because he's putting it all on his shoulders, but we win as a team and we lose as a team. So.
I couldn't help but think of spring training, because if you've ever gone to spring training and you get there early, not for a game, but just when they're doing drills, one of the first drills you do is that you have a comebacker to the pitcher and then he throws to first base. I mean, these are really menial task that you're doing as a pitcher. It's like, okay, you got a comebacker and then you throw over to first base. And then the next pitcher comes in, the next pitcher comes in. It's all just everybody's doing the same repetition here. And, you kind of put yourself on automatic pilot until you're in a moment when the season is on the line and a comebacker. And really, you were prepared to make the play at first base because your body was squared up to home plate to get the ball. You don't have to try to get the play at home plate. Get the out at first base, had plenty of time to do so. But in these moments, and I don't know if somebody says, hey, if it comes back to you, you got the easy out at first base. These are little things. And your catcher is pointing to first base. Like that's the play, and then he throws home. And the catcher is, it was wide. He had no chance there. But your catcher is going, throw it to first. And all of a sudden, he's throwing it home, and then it was too late. Yes, Todd?
As unforgivable as it may seem, and you learn that in Little League and all that kind of stuff, in the moment, in your peripheral vision, when the season and it's all on the line, and you see that runner right in front of you coming home, in that split second, I can understand, I got to get this right. It's right in front of me. I got to flip it to the catcher for the tag. And that's just, he deserves the criticism, and it sucks that their season ended like that. But I can understand somehow that he thought, let me get him at home. I'm not sure if I could make the throw at first, how far down the runner is, and I got this right in front of me happening.
If the catcher's pointing to first base, that's your indicator. But the catcher should be saying and reminding him, hey, comebacker, you got the easy out at first. I mean, this is all baseball 101. It's not hindsight. It's just baseball 101. Get the out at first. That's all. You don't have to try to, because the play at home, I know you're going to get a force, but you still got to make sure you get the right throw. I was surprised Kim didn't slide, because I would have gone in there and made it even tougher for the catcher. And he didn't. Maybe he was shocked that they were coming home instead of going to first. But the Dodgers advance to the NLCS. They'll wait for the winner of the Brewers and the Cubs. Yes, Marvin?
Yeah, you remember in Little League when the catcher would go, hey, 2 outs, plays to wherever, plays the first. That's probably what they should have done, because he knew right then and there. I think he got caught up in, he saw the runner going home as soon as he bobbled the ball. That was the first thing. He bobbled the ball, and he looked up and he panicked, and he saw the guy ready to score. I don't even think he was looking towards first base at all, or the catcher.
Well, in that kind of, I guess, situation where you're thinking, boy, if he scores, then we lose. Well, his run doesn't count if you get the out at first. And that's where you just remind. That's all. I mean, that's why there's a scoreboard out there that tells you how many outs, but what happens? You know, you get one out, and the shortstop will go, all right, one down, you know, everybody holding up, all right, one down, two down. I was just surprised that, and maybe they did that. Hey, the easy out, go to first. That's where we want to go. Well, yes, Eaton.
As soon as you bobble that ball, everything you just said went out the window.
Yes, it did.
As soon as you bobble the ball, he panicked and threw the ball to the wrong place. Even looking at his catcher who was pointing to first, he still threw it at the catcher because you panic.
Yeah, Paulie.
And the most cruel thing about baseball is he's standing there on the mound after the play, and the Dodgers are celebrating around him. He can't escape. He's got to walk off casually. I mean, that's tough.
And here we are in Game 4 of the National League Division Series.
He struck him out, and Glasnow exits to a raucous ravine.
And 6 scoreless innings for Christopher Sanchez down the left field line. It's a base hit. In to score is Kepler. Can double for Nick Castellanos.
High stress pitches. Full count.
And it is ball 4. And this game is tied. It's a bases loaded walk.
We will play extra innings in Game 4 of the division series.
Pajes breaks his bat. Kerkering throws to the plate. Oh my goodness! He throws it away, and the Dodgers have won, and they are moving on to the NLCS.
And so the Dodgers title defense is alive, and the Phillies another disappointment in the postseason. We say welcome back. D-Train and Dontrell Willis joins us now. Train, there's so many things that go through your mind when you watch that last play from Orion Kerkering. Obviously, you know, little panic at the end there. It was a tough way to end a series from a guy who was a good fielder, played that position. Tell me through the play and what happened there.
Well, you're so focused and hyper locked in of getting the batter out, you didn't realize that you still have to field your position and play clean baseball. All of a sudden, the ball's off the bat, and he gets short hop, and he gets caught. Right when that ball hits that ground, a shot of adrenaline goes in you because all you're thinking about now is picking up that ball and getting rid of it. He didn't know where he was on the field, so all of a sudden his head comes up, so he's not seeing JT Realmuto screaming and not hearing go to one. Yes, everyone talks about he had enough time, but you're not thinking about that, and you're not hearing that. All you're hearing is the roar of the stadium because they all realize, oh no, he's fumbling the baseball. Once his head came up, he tried to make a quick throw, got on side of the baseball, and that ball was 2 feet past JT Realmuto before he put his head down because he realized at the release point, that ball wasn't going to make it. Game over, season over, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, he panicked, right? You know, it's, you hit him that ball 100 times, 99 times he picks it up and throws it to first base. Just, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline. You feel bad because, you know, a lot of people will blame him for that series. That's not the case. That's not fair. That's not the reason why they lost. But when you see in these postseason games, teams that make mistakes, the good teams capitalize on them.
Yeah, and the Dodgers always capitalize. They seem to be the team that never makes mistakes. And by the way, it was really classy afterward of the players and Rob Thompson kind of embracing Orion there and being like, hey, it's not you. Like, I thought that was awesome. But let's talk about these Dodgers. I want to piggyback off of what Derek said. They seem to make all the plays, right? I mean, they seem to make the key defensive plays, take that extra base all the time. Why? How do they keep doing it?
The Dodgers are back being the LA Dodgers, simply the best team in baseball. And look, they're the opposite of a one-trick pony, right? They can beat you any way you want. They can slug Poppy, they can pitch, they can defend, they can clutch hit. And one thing they never, ever, ever do is beat themselves. They never beat themselves. Look, Philly imploded and the Yankees imploded by making not making the plays. That's something they never do. And for all those home run lovers out there and home run chasers, they beat the Phillies with only hitting 2 home runs in 4 games, and they're moving on.
The Dodgers is an organization that they get prepared for this type of situation. If you look all the way through their lineup, their pitching staff, even their coaching staff, they get prepared for this situation. That's why they are so hard to beat. And then think about this. Offensively, their monster, Ohtani, he's sleeping. He haven't wake up yet, and they are whooping everybody. When this guy get hot, people don't try that at home.
Can I ask one question? You know, this was the battle of the Titans, right? You almost feel like you got robbed because that, 5 game, best of 5, they're both so good. I know the Dodgers are the defending champs, but is there a little bit of, okay, we took care of the maybe the second best team. Is there a little bit you got to be careful not to let down?
No, that's why they're well coached and they're well managed. Experience. Just like you guys were in the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. They're not going to sleep. They're not going to make a mistake. They're going to continue to stay hungry. They want to repeat. And now there's scary hours. Freddie didn't check in and Shohei didn't check in, and they got past the Phillies. Now their rotation is healthy. Their rotation was not healthy, and they won a World Series last year. They understand that they're the weapons, and any road has to come through Chavez Ravine. And so I think getting over this helps, but at the same time, they're still hungry in that locker room.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there. Dodgers, by the way, will await the winner of Game 5 between the Cubs and the Brewers. That is tomorrow, going back to Milwaukee. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, our Game 5, Mariners and Tigers. M center fielder Julio Rodriguez, the first player ever with 20 homers and 20 steals in each of his first 4 years in the league. He took some time a little while ago to speak with our Tom Verducci.